Welcome to Mindly Way, where we explore life philosophies to grow and find the right path. Get ready to listen for an inner journey. What if I told you there are things you need to have that the chosen ones should never divulge? Never expose carelessly. Fascinating, isn't it? However, it's true that silence has a great deal of power, a strength that is frequently overlooked. In fact, silence may be the loudest statement you've ever made, and when you keep quiet, you preserve an aura of mystery. You become less erratic, which makes you less exposed. It's a means of defending your intentions and your heart. In this eye-opening tactic, you keep your opponents guessing to keep them off balance. Footage. I want to discuss 5 important points God's chosen ones ought never to divulge or talk about in public. There are some things that should be kept private between you and the Lord alone. Let's look at them, starting with your future plans and dreams. Your future plans and dreams are the first item you should keep confidential. You see, the enemy can only foresee your future with limited ability. He operates best from presumption. The more information he can glean from your careless speech, the more tools he has at his disposal to undermine God's plans for you. According to Proverbs 2911, a fool speaks his heart, but the wise hold it in until they discover the wisdom of remaining silent in response to what God reveals to them about their fate. Hold off on making announcements on revelations that aren't quite certain or proven just yet. Mary, the mother of Jesus, was promised that she would miraculously give birth to the Messiah. This priceless promise was intended to remain hidden in her heart until God's timing was right. Visionaries recognize that dreams are similar to newborns in their early, delicate phases, in need of care and protection. Instead of pursuing petty public validation, premature oversharing can expose you to misinterpretation, doubt, and attacks at the wrong time. Put your visions to prayer in silence. God might ask you to share parts with a select group of reliable confidants in order to get their approval, but resist the urge to prematurely announce incomplete dreams that need to be patiently nurtured in a private location until God gives the all-clear. Keep your divine insights to yourself. Learn to manage revelation with maturity and wisdom rather than immaturity. The future will work out best if you don't give the enemy intelligence by constantly sharing what God has shown you is safe and silent. Your family matters too. Your family matters are another important item that selected individuals must keep private. These include marital conflicts and health issues, financial strains, marital problems, disputes with kids, or other delicate matters should not be allowed to carelessly expose your inner circle. There are some people who never seem to keep their family matters private, which is a very bad behavior that can quickly destroy your family. Not every little thing that occurs between you and your spouse should be made public, and even when you disagree, there are times when it's better to resolve it within your home first rather than turning into a spectacle for others. It is a really horrible idea for you to go about making your family's troubles public, since most of the people you share your concerns with also have their own difficulties. They never tell you about their problems, so why do you do that? Indeed, it's a well-known adage that a problem shared is a problem solved, but this isn't always the case. Depending on who you discuss your troubles with, sharing them with the incorrect person can result in the problem becoming magnified. 1 Peter 4:8 states, above all, love one another profoundly because love covers over a multitude of sins. Proverbs 17 reminds us that whomever would foster love covers over an offense. Be a priest over your home. Handle issues privately and shield your inner circle from needless scrutiny. Avoid oversharing personal problems on social media or engaging in casual gossip with coworkers and neighbors. Do not give legal access to vultures looking for an opportunity for accusations. Do not make your family vulnerable by exposing their flaws before a fault-finding audience. Seek assistance exclusively from spirit-matured counselors who value anonymity. Imagine how things would have turned out differently if Mary had hurried to her cousin Elizabeth to voice her concerns about her fiancé Joseph's original decision to leave her after learning she was pregnant. Family matters demand discretion and judgment. Do not fall for the enemy's attempts to sow discord or hatred toward loved ones. Steer clear of slander that taints people's perceptions of your family. Every dysfunction is an opportunity to show greater forgiveness and grace. God wants to mend and rebuild relationships, but only in an atmosphere of love and silence. Not display drama. Use self-control instead of hurling stones via rash oversharing that is never completely retractable. Number 3. Your early successes and breakthroughs. Learning to keep your early successes and breakthroughs private when God first gives you favor advancements is the third area of discipline for God's chosen ones. And rise of funds or new opportunities, it can be alluring to notify the media right away. According to Proverbs 215, haste begets poverty just as certainly as the plans of the diligent lead to riches. Your progress is still brittle. When King Saul was anointed, the prophet Samuel told him in 1 Samuel 10 that once these signs are fulfilled, do whatever your hand finds to do because God is with you. He did not say broadcast on Facebook that God is with you because it was a sacred secret. Wait for God's timing before unveiling it publicly. Impatience can forfeit the fullness of the promise. When David defeated Goliath as a young warrior, the enemy could have swiftly destroyed him before his reign could have begun. Instead, David remained silent and waited on the Lord for the next instructions. For instance, if God gives you great business success early on, stay out of the spotlight until your growth stabilizes. Joseph served as an example of this by holding off on announcing his gifts until he was mature and prepared to take the lead. Doing so opens the door to needless spiritual assaults, rivalry and jealousy. It makes more sense to build your vine covertly before revealing the fruit, as its enigmatic maturity confuses adversaries. Young business people frequently make this error proudly, claiming that their startup has early traction, but it's not yet steady or long-term. Quick publicity that seeks to capitalize on whirlwinds that haven't yet settled. There will be time for additional public festivities later, so let God develop your increase out of the spotlight before revealing it. Envy and complications can arise from impatience, but learning to wait on divine timing guards your heart. Number 4. Harvest. Your economic situation. Your financial situation in this day of social media, openly bragging about financial growth and things, is another foolish thing selected ones do. Many give in to pride and ostentation, but these tendencies frequently result in disaster. Warning. Proverbs 13:11. Dishonest money disappears, but whoever saves it gradually grows it. The wise realize that wealth increases via careful personal accumulation rather than boasting, and avoid the trap of looking for approval by making extravagant purchases. Vacations, houses, and other vacuous status symbols that undermine faith in God should not be used to gauge one's value. The secret to financial breakthrough is often embracing the hidden dignity of modest living necessity, rather than enviously observing people who flaunt their luxury. Reckless spending undermines spiritual development and cautious stewardship that fosters permanent prosperity. Steadiness. Prioritize pleasing God over pressuring others. Hold accurate financial information, such as income statements if at all possible. Keep inheritances, savings accounts, and investments private, even from extended family, to avoid drawing unwelcome legal attention. Jealously tricking greed or thievery via exaggerating financial gains. Quiet gratitude for what you have and trust in God's providence are far more significant than conspicuous expenditure to demonstrate your wealth. Seek first His kingdom, and wealth will follow in due course. Those who have been chosen should also keep some information about their financial situation and career aspirations hidden, as God may use them to open doors to promotions, new employment, or other opportunities. Refrain from sharing all of the information about your career progress and relationships at work on social media. Sharing too much can make you a target for envy and undermines others' unreasonable expectations of you, and can even lead to spiritual assaults. Attempting to obstruct divine alignments as opposed to regularly sharing accomplishments on social media continue to thrive via quiet humility and a steady work ethic, as Proverbs 27:2 instructs. Let others commend you rather than yourself. Of course, be open about general progress to family, trusted mentors, and the public, but avoid the temptation to openly display every milestone and title to the point where jealousy and pride look. When we let God organically elevate us in due time and concentrate on obeying His voice. Number 5 of your spiritual encounters. The final encounters. Divine promotion occurs effortlessly. Certain spiritual contacts and dreams are important things that chosen ones need to guard. While God may occasionally ask you to share a witness to inspire others, Many of the most meaningful experiences you have with Him are meant exclusively for you. Do not rapidly transform serious spiritual encounters into light-hearted conversation starters. Visions, angelic visits, prophecies, and other divine mysteries revealed to you when the timing of the angels allowed it. Mary's apparition to announce her immaculate pregnancy was made public. John was told not to record the thunders he heard in Revelation 10. In 2 Corinthians 12, Paul related unbelievable experiences that he acknowledged no one is allowed to share. He said that some revelations are similar to unborn children who are born into the wrong environments too soon and cannot survive. They must learn to serve as a womb of incubation for what God imparts until He declares that it is publicly revealed. Avoid the flippancy of distorting profound spiritual experiences into light conversation in order to pique curiosity. Do not reduce holy experiences to powerful sermon illustrations for your own glory. Honor the Lord by keeping intimacy private. May the Lord give us discernment in determining when to speak boldly and when to practice careful inner silence in front of Him alone.